Hey everybody, Sean here from BoredParacord.com, and today I want to show you how to make a real simple friendship bracelet, kind of like this, not really, just a couple strands that go across, real basic, not even going to use a buckle. I'm going to show you how to use a two-strand diamond knot, and we're going to use two of those types of knots today. Real easy to do. Your best friend will be a fid. If you don't have a fid, you can use some needle nose pliers like these. These work great too. But a fid is definitely going to be your better choice. Now, to get started, I just have a piece of scrap here. I'm looking at probably about 4 feet. I would say that that's going to be a good amount, just so that you have it enough. You probably won't use all of this at all, but it's a good little section that you're going to need. So the first thing I want to do is find my center point, just like that, and we're going to start off by doing a two-strand diamond knot. So our center point is going to be basically the end of our bracelet, if you will. So what we need to do is take this center point and make a loop and stick your middle finger through it, and have your working ends come up through there and off to the right hand side. Now I've done a video on this one already, so you can look for that as well. If it's just called how to make the two-strand diamond knot, but we can do it again, so it's not a big deal. It's real easy to do. You're going to take your right cord and you're just going to pinch it and roll it from where you're at, and you're going to roll it over top like that until you have a loop. Now this loop, make it a little bigger, you're just going to put it over top of your left cord. Now your left cord, what we're going to do is we're going to go over top of this one. Okay, and we're going to go, you're going to go under it. So we're going to go under, pull this through, just like that. And I like to pinch this right here, just to hold it. Now we're going to do a little bit of weaving. So your left cord is going to go under your right cord. We're going to go over, under, over. So over, under, over. And what you should have is like this figure 8 looking thing, just like this, along with this diamond in the middle. Now this diamond's important because we got to come up through this diamond here in a second. Now you have two cords coming up through your fingers. One here, this cord right here, and then you have this one, which you can't really see, right here, coming up through your fingers. What you want to do is we're going to take our left one first, and I'm going to pinch just to hold it for a second. We're going to reach underneath of everything. So this is going to go underneath of everything you've got. So under these 3 strands here, and you want to make sure that you go around this cord that's coming up through your finger. So you're going to go around everything and under everything, and then bring this up through. Let's see. So we're bringing that up through that center diamond, just like that. Now you want to do the same thing with your right cord. You're going to go underneath of everything. So let's do that. So we're just going to pick everything up. Really, the main thing on this one is you just want to make sure you go outside of this cord that's coming up through your fingers. Make sure you go outside of that, underneath of everything, grab hold, and pull it up through the middle. Just like that. Now, once you have your 2 cords coming up through the middle, you can release it from your finger. And on this one, normally I would pull this out, you know, so you have a loop here, but I want this loop to be nice and tight onto the knot. So we're going to actually work all of the slack of this loop here into the knot. So first I want to pull it a little tight, just so we can kind of figure out where this knot's going. And then I'm going to work this slack, because I want this knot to be right on the end. Okay, so we're just moving the slack around the knot until we can pull it through this way. Just like that. And as you pull this through, you don't want to tighten it all the way up yet because you want to make sure everything's nice and uniform. And I think, yep, I can pull this one now. Okay, so now you can kind of start working this around. And as you turn this, pull down on these cords here to kind of tighten it up. And you can see we've got a little stopper knot going. Now, you do want this to be pretty tight. And this is the loop. So this is the loop right here. That was, you know, the one that came out here that we first pulled through. So you want to keep track of that, but you don't want it to be loose. It's going to be on the exact opposite side of where these come out. On the exact opposite side is where that little loop will be. We're going to run our cords through there in just a minute. But first we got to get all this slack out. So a good thing you can use is a fid. You can find where your slack is. Go to the opposite side of that slack and pull it through. And then you just have to basically track down where that slack has to go. So we'll pull through this way. I know this looks hard, but it's actually really easy. This is one of the easier knots that you can do. That's a decorative knot. Looks good. Perfect for a friendship bracelet. Not too big. There we go. And pull that down. And we still got a little bit going on here. So let's get this guy. This guy's got a little bit of slack. And we'll pull it this way. This one. And I think we got it there. Oh no, that's that one. Yeah, so it's a little tricky. So yeah, just work out your slack. I'm actually going to finish getting all this slack out, and then I'll be right back to show you the next step. Okay, so you can see I have the diamond knot complete right on the end of the cord, and if you go from the opposite side of where the cords come out, you'll find this little spot right there in the middle that's just kind of a hump right on the opposite side. And what you can do is you're going to have to pass your fid through here. So you're going to want to get that nice and loose so we can push our fid through. Might have to push down on that one. There we go. This is where we're going to pass our cord through. So once I did that, I'm going to grab my end, and we're just going to basically, actually let's do this. So there's our loop there we're going through. And some people would call this the Mad Max style closure, because that's how the Mad Max style works, is you create a loop on the end and you just pass the cords through here, just like that. And this is our bracelet right here. So once you have that, I'm just going to take this fid off. There we go. And let me zoom out just a little bit. And I'm going to grab the other end, put that on there. And we're going to go through the same hole, the same direction. And it's pretty tight. You're going to notice that it's pretty tight. And you want that because you want the knot to be tight enough to where when you pull the bracelet tight, it doesn't loosen up on you. And you also want this. See how my loops are twisted? I have this one kind of twisted right here. We can get that out by just turning the cords inside of this loop. And if you notice a twist, you're going to want to get these twists out too of each individual strand. Like this one's good, but this one has kind of a, see this twist in it right here? So we're just going to go back and kind of get that twist out. There we go. That looks good. Alright, so you want to get these basically to where it's going to fit your wrist. If you just barely... Okay, so let me zoom out because this is hard to see where you're at. Get that guy out of the way. Okay, so I want to make this to just barely where I can slip this over my hand. And that's pretty close. And if you have a marker, you're going to want to mark this spot on the other side. Just draw a little line, maybe a couple of little dots right here, so that you know that's where the end of your stopper knot has to go. So what I'm going to do here is the same thing as before. Let me get this off of here. We're going to act like this is the loop on that diamond knot that we started. We're going to pull this behind my hand. And we're going to do the same thing. Front or back to front, make that loop. Make sure the loop goes over, around, and then underneath of itself. This one's going to go underneath. And then remember, we're going to go over, under, over. And that was my watch telling me that I need to move. Okay, so over, under, over. Just like that. And then you can see we have that figure 8 just like we did from when we first started this. And you can see I'm holding this because what we want to do now is we want to make this knot slide all the way up against that knot. So now we have this. We're going to take our left side, make sure you go around and under everything and up through that center point. And we're going to do the same thing with this side. We're going to make sure we go around this cord here, underneath of everything, and up through that diamond in the center. Just like that. Once you get that, this looks really strange, I know, it's okay. Now once you get this tied, you want to get all this slack out. So first, let's just kind of pull everything so that we can make our knot. And sometimes these don't always tie the first time. Just work out the slack. If there's a spot that looks kind of funny, which there was, just grab that slack and work it around before you go and tighten everything. And see, that was part of this part. So now I know I can pull that one through, because you want to work this knot all the way up. This is about as big as your bracelet's going to get. So we're going to work that through, figure out where it's got to go. Pull the slack that way. And you're just going to keep pulling the slack until you can pull it this way, just like that. And see, we still have a lot of slack here. So I'm going to go ahead, get all this slack out. We're going to work it through the knot until this knot is right up against this one. And I'll be back to show you how to finish your bracelet. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. I didn't finish this yet, and I'll still show you how to do that. But what I wanted to show you is that I can get this bracelet on my wrist relatively simple. And then what you do is you just pull it tight, and it cinches right down onto your wrist just like that. Now this is kind of tight on my wrist, so I probably want to go about there. Now you're going to have this extra piece that's hanging off. We're going to cut these ends on this part. Well, let me focus this a little bit better. Here we go. You're going to end up cutting these pieces here, but I wanted to show you that if you can get the bracelet on in a little bit tighter cord, like if you can handle it being right here and you can get the bracelet off, then do it right there and then just work that slack back through. And you can test it out, but see the slack right here? And this is just extra that you're going to have hanging off. So if you can get rid of that, you shorten up that piece at the end. So I think I'm going to keep it here. And I'm happy with how tight. I could probably tighten this knot up a little bit more, but I think I'm happy with that. So let me show you how to finish this. And I've seen a couple people where on the diamond knots they'll cut right here and just let this fray out. I like to have it a little more I guess finished. So I like to cut this right up at the knot, See, I'm making my cut right next to the knot. And then we're going to slowly melt this so that it's kind of, it doesn't burn. And I'll show you what I mean by that. You're going to have a little bit darker area, but you don't end up melting everything. If you do a nice slow melt, and you see it kind of bubbling a little bit, that's what you're looking for. You don't want it to catch fire. You're not really even touching the flame to it, you're just getting it close so that it kind of melts down. And then see how shiny it is? That means there's no hard edges on there. And we're just going to let that cool just like that, so it has a nice kind of smooth edge to it where it's not going to irritate your skin. But basically that's about it. This is I don't even have a name for this one. I haven't seen somebody make one like this before. I guess we can call this the dual diamond friendship bracelet because you've got two diamond knots on it. So yeah, we'll call it that, the dual diamond friendship bracelet. But hope you like this. I'll be posting this in my Facebook group for Paracord. It's called Paracord On, so be sure to check that out. It's facebook.com/groups/Paracord On. And until next time, Paracord On. Do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button to your left. There's other great videos all the time, and there's a few to the right side of the screen, and you can also buy Paracord at our site with the link at the bottom left. Thank you again for watching.